I recently came across a YouTube video which talked about how to decrease your anxiety, especially when giving presentations. And I find it quite interesting, so today I'm going to go deeper into it. So firstly, why is it important? Well, when we're anxious, we don't really speak to the best of our ability, and that sort of undermines our credibility, and it makes people sort of, hesitant about what you're saying if it's really true. But on the other hand, if you're confident, then it establishes authority, and people want to listen to you. And furthermore, when you're confident while speaking, it also enhances your clarity, and like the words come out clearer, and people are able to understand it easier. And it's normal to be anxious when when you're giving speeches, and it was and yeah um, I actually was quite shy, especially when giving presentations when I was younger. And I remember every time we had a presentation, I would just hide behind my friends, and I would just like keep my head down and try not to make eye contact with the teacher in hopes that they would pick me. But yeah, I've been able to grow and learn, and now when I do presentations, it's a lot easier, and I feel a lot more confident while doing them. And it's actually quite necessary because a lot of opportunities and from our career come from how well we are able to speak. So, for example, in interviews for schools or universities, and then later in life, when you're at your job and giving presentations to your boss. And yeah, so it's basically a very necessary skill that you need to know. And so the first method is to control your body. And so it's really important because people can see when you're nervous, like based on your expressions or based on if you're shaking or shivering. And it makes people sort of, like I said before, it makes people sort of question if what you're saying is really true. And because you're nervous, they'll like, and because you're nervous, it just undermines your credibility. And it also, like when you're trembling, and it also makes your voice shaky, so it's hard to hear the words that are coming out of your mouth. And it's just quite a bad thing in general. So one of the tips is to use box breathing, and it's used in the military. And basically, you breathe in for 4 seconds, and then hold for 4, and then breathe out for 4, and then hold for 4 again. And it's just like before a presentation or speech. And if you want to calm yourself down, it's really good for just relaxing your nerves and getting you sort of in the zone for the speech. Second is you have to think about what you're providing for the other people, and it's not really about you, but about the value that you're giving to other people. Because the only reason that you're sort of there is to provide value for other people. It's not really about you. And so if you like in the presentation and you're thinking about if I mess up, and or what if I look weird, and you just basically focus everything on your thoughts all on you, then you just grow more and more nervous. But if you think more about what you're providing to other people, then you focus less on that, and you'll be able to focus on the quality of the speech that you're giving. Thirdly is to slow down the rate of your speech. And so when you're feeling nervous, if you slow down the rate of your speech, then it just makes it feel like you're more in control of what you're saying. Because what happens with a lot of people is when they get nervous, they just speed up and speed up. And once they speed up, they also get more nervous. So it's just like a cycle where they just keep getting faster and faster. And it can cause a lot of problems, which like you can't think properly when you get faster, and you also stumble over words. And so slowing down is really good because it keeps you in control. And I remember I had a teacher who just I can really understand them because they just kept speaking like quite fast. And I ended up not learning as much as I would have been able to if I really understood her a lot better. And so, yeah, think about it like when you're presenting, if you just keep speeding up and going quickly, like a lot of people aren't really going to get as much value from what you're saying. So, yeah, just slow down when you're feeling quite nervous. Fifth is to manage your adrenaline. And so, your body produces quite a lot when you're nervous. And so, yeah, you should get rid of the excess, maybe going for a walk or just maybe doing press ups. And yeah, what I like to do sometimes is if I have like a big thing coming up, maybe I do shakes or like shake my hands or something, just before the thing to, I guess, relieve a lot of my stress and get rid of some of the adrenaline. And sixth is to desensitize yourself with making speeches. And so you have to practice to do this. You have to practice it often, and you get used to it so that it's not as hard as anymore. And yeah, since practice eventually makes perfect, so if you repeat doing speeches a lot of times, then you'll eventually get better. It's like, for example, maybe if you just start out going for runs, it might be quite hard in the beginning because you haven't really run that much before. However, if you're a professional runner, it will be really easy to just get going and you enjoy it as well. And it's similar to speaking, where if you're not really used to it, you won't really you will feel like it's hard. But if you speak really often, you'll get used to it and you might even enjoy it as well. So I hope you learned something from my points, and eventually if you follow them, you'll be able to be more confident as well in during your presentations. So thank you for listening.